Deputy Speaker, we're in a position in 2024 where there is both a lot of good news, but there is still a significant amount that we need to do. I thought, therefore, this is an opportunity for me to mention particularly the range of different achievements of women across my electorate, because, as I said, when the contributions that women make locally, often which are not recognised, then feed into our contributions nationally, and that is how we can change things globally for women.
And I call the member for Hughes.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise to speak on this motion regarding International Women's Day, which is celebrated annually on the 8th of March 2024. And I do thank the member for Newcastle for bringing this motion to the House's attention and for drawing attention to the very important day that is the 8th of March each year. And, Deputy Speaker, in my electorate of Hughes, I was delighted this year to host a morning tea of more than 120 women who came together to celebrate International Women's Day, and we also had quite a number of men in the room as well, which was great. It was an opportunity for us, Deputy Speaker, the women of Hughes, the women of the Shire, the women of Southern Sydney, to recognise the achievements of women locally and how those achievements then feed into us progressing nationally and also globally. The theme this year for International Women's Day was Count Her In, Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. So I took that as an opportunity, Deputy Speaker, to look at where we have come as a country and where we are currently placed. And just to mention a few sort of stats, numbers and years, in 1902, Australia became only the second country to give women over the age of 18 the vote. Unfortunately, Indigenous women were not included in that number for decades to come. But we were the second country in the world. In 1943, Senator Dorothy, Tangney and Dame Enid Lyons became the first women elected into federal parliament. Deputy Speaker, women currently make up 51% of our great country. 70% of carers in Australia are women, and I actually checked that number because I thought it may have been a little bit low, but it is apparently 70%. Our national pay gap is 12%. Women still retire on significantly less than men, about 2/3. Among G20 nations, Australia ranks 8th for rates of domestic and family violence against women, but Australia has jumped up 17 places from 43rd to 26th on the global gender equality rankings. So, Deputy Speaker, we're in a position in 2024 where there is both a lot of good news, but there is still a significant amount that we need to do. I thought, therefore, this is an opportunity for me to mention particularly the range of different achievements of women across my electorate, because, as I said, when the contributions that women make locally, often which are not recognised, then feed into our contributions nationally, and that is how we can change things globally for women. I've mentioned before in this parliament the 4 women who were awarded my Hughes Awards this year. Posthumous honour was given to Kim Livingstone. Young Woman of the Year was Tash Ransford. Woman of the Year, Paula Smith. Senior Woman of the Year, Jane Bell. But I take this opportunity to mention just some of the women who were also nominated. There was Sandra Hillier for salvaging food that would otherwise have gone to waste and delivering it to over 100 needy families weekly for the last few years. Rachel Moore for her commitment to education around First Nations people and culture. Claire Walsh for revitalising the Holsworthy unit of the Girl Guides. Leanne Fretton for her advocacy for disability rights through Milkerry Childcare Centre and Sylvan Vale. Kelly Stubbs for founding a local women's support group, as well as actively promoting mental health through the Gotcha for Life program. Sue Kelly, who's fostered more than 200 children and runs a support group for foster carers. Catherine Brennan for her 12 years foundational and instrumental role at charity group Dandelion. Brooke Jensen, who has raised over $400,000 for breast cancer research. Gillian Critchley for her roles in scouting, choral societies, educational institutions locally. Debbie Ginn for her commitment to classical music and her pivotal role as a concert master and soloist with the Shenyun Symphony Orchestra. Bronte Hendricks who works with young adults with special needs and has coordinated and co-founded a group Stellar Experiences. Kinwan Thompson for her role in the Wern Bay Scouts group at Illawong. Cheryl Scott for her role for nearly 4 decades with Engadine District Girl Guides. Indiana Brown for her contributions at the University of New South Wales in the Mechanical Engineering Society and her role as Ansto's Engineering Cadet. And the list goes on and on. Ashley Daines from the Family Co, who has supported over 15,000 community members each year, particularly in the domestic and family violence area. So, Deputy Speaker, you will see across my electorate, this is just a small sample of women making fabulous contributions, often unrecognised day after day. These are the sort of contributions that we see that progress women both nationally and globally. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.